operates like a giant Ponzi scheme where it takes new money to pay out old money. And unfortunately, it's always the people who can least afford it who are left holding the bag in the end. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now, just absolutely heartbreaking stories of, everyday Americans who have lost, in essence, their life savings. This was entirely inevitable, though. I've been saying this for a long time, that crypto has no inherent value. And so when you look at, where's the bottom, obviously crypto has only existed in a zero interest rate monetary policy environment. So as the Fed continues to raise interest rates, I expect crypto will continue to go down. In long term, Frank, in order for this asset to have any value whatsoever, it has to provide genuine economic utility. It can't just be a means to speculation. And we're 13 years into this experiment, and I have yet to see that so-called killer use case when it comes to crypto and blockchain. And you have to wonder, will we ever see it?
All right, just for our viewers who may be just joining right now, Crypto Night in America right now, we're following two big breaking stories. One, FTX looking to acquire BlockFi. The second one, Voyager Digital, having some liquidity issues, not allowing any trading or withdrawals. Anthony, I'm going to come over to you. These liquidity issues, what do they say about the broader cryptocurrency market and the investability of cryptocurrencies?
Well, Frank, unfortunately, there are no new mistakes. And so we saw this in 1998 with the long-term capital management crisis. We saw it in 2008. And listen, there's a lot of people that were over-levered in the system. They were overzealous. There was double collateralization going on. It was almost like Bernie Madoff got married to long-term capital management, and they created Celsius. And so some of this stuff is terrible, frankly. But I do think that Lee's ultimately going to be wrong, because the use cases are proliferating, and there's billions of dollars that is moving into the space. And of course, we haven't gotten to Sam Bankman-Fried, who's been willing to backstop the space and put up capital. So lots of smart money there. It's not crypto Yonkers. In fact, crypto Bahamas. I just got back from the Baha Mar Hotel. We'll be doing that April 17th to April 20th. And hopefully Lee can come down and make the bear case for us again. But I think he's going to be wrong long term. This is just part and parcel of a long-term trend and cycle. And of course, we have the halving coming in February, March of 2024.
Scott, I'm going to come over to you. I mean, again, not a great sign for Voyager Digital.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And we have Crypto Night in America, and we see the Hegelian dialectic being played out. Crypto has no utility, but we see all the big banks and corporations behind the curtain that have been funding this from the beginning. And this is a Duke professor. He knows better. These are nothing but paid puppets. And we have Jeremy from Circle. And we know Brian Brooks said that Jeremy and him were working on the United States global stablecoin. And it's definitely looking like they're the chosen ones. And the Crypto Teacher told you that 2 years ago. We're starting to see the plan come together. We know they want the masses to be so scared they're not going to invest. But like Scaramucci said, there's nothing new under the sun. We've seen this movie before. We know the goal of the NWO is to bring in the robots, algorithms, and drones. And we see China Xi going over to Hong Kong and hasn't left the mainland in over 2.5 years. If you have my book, you understand history. We know that the British took over Hong Kong with the Opium Wars. Drug wars are nothing new. But guys, this was a signal of the rise of China. Remember the fall of Babylon? We can already see it. But now we're going to have the rise of China, the BRICS nations, the emerging markets. And that big distraction is going to lead us into the conflict and the battle that's going to happen between China, the dragon, and America, the Babylon. And we know that signal is Taiwan. We already see all these events that are happening worldwide. Remember, the NWO causes a problem. Wait for the reaction and run in with the solution. Order out of chaos. Mass layoffs will ripple through the globe, bringing in the robots, algorithms, and drones. And the sheet will go inside the metaverse. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
We got to start off with some of the news that we're following right now. As a founder and a CEO in the crypto space, what do you make of Voyager Digital's liquidity issues? What do you make of Sam Bankman-Fried looking to acquire BlockFi? I mean, so much going on in this space tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's really extraordinary. And, I've been involved in the industry for almost 10 years and have seen a lot of growth. I think one of the really noteworthy things that we're seeing in this cycle, if you want to call it that, is, the development of financial infrastructure is dramatically more advanced than it was, several years ago. The range of both retail and institutional platforms and others, but also the scale was even greater. And so you're seeing these brokerage firms, you're seeing, hedge funds, underlying projects, et cetera. Just the numbers are a lot larger and more startling. And so, but at the same time, this has also matured in the sense that there are, major market makers. There are, major firms who have incredibly strong balance sheets that are stepping in, such as Sang Bankman-Fried and the BlockFi deal, and overall this sort of flight to quality, both in terms of who are the diamond hands, who are the firms and companies that are really going to be here for the long term.
Haven't heard diamond hands in quite a bit. It's been a while, Jeremy. So you say investors are coming to your company seeking quality. The coin you helped create, USDC, is pegged to the dollar, but so was UST. So I have to ask you, where do we find quality? What are the qualities of quality in the cryptocurrency space?
Well, within the stablecoin space, that not all stablecoins are created equal. We've been saying that for years. 4 years ago, when we launched USDC, we did it with a regulatory framework, with clear consumer protection laws protecting the stored value, with quality banking partners and integration, and the fact that we've been able to operate this regulated dollar digital currency has been really critical and has never faced liquidity issues. The dollars are held in cash and in 3-month U.S. government treasury bonds. And so it's a very, very kind of different structure. It's regulated, it's liquid, and that's really where that flight to quality has been, as people have taken risk off or they've removed liquidity from stable coins that they perceive to be much higher risk. We've seen USDC grow just in the trailing short period here from around 48 billion in circulation to approaching 56 billion in circulation today. And so that's been really significant.
So last question before we let you go, Jeremy. Where do you see cryptocurrencies going in the second half of the year? Obviously, this is the first day of the second half of the year. Do you have any forecast or projection, whether it's Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum? What direction are we going in?
So I'm not really focused on the price of these assets. I think every crypto asset plays a different role in the crypto economy. Ether, Solana, both are really important digital commodities that are powering these next generation networks for applications on the internet. So my focus, and really that's essential to something like USDC as well, is what's the utility value that's being built here? We're seeing more and more developers and certainly a great deal of capital that has funded a tremendous amount of development in this space. And so I'm focused on what are people building? What are the applications? Where are we driving utility value? How do we light this up as a mainstream financial infrastructure, not really focused on the speculation on prices and things like that?
Yeah, utility, one of the biggest questions when it comes to cryptocurrency. Jeremy, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate the insight.
Meantime, President Xi of China making his first trip outside the country's mainland since the pandemic began. Want to get straight over to Eunice Yoon, who joins us now with the significance of Xi's trip to Hong Kong. Good morning or good afternoon to you.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, it was a very significant trip. President Xi Jinping took a special train to cross the border into Hong Kong to take part in the 25th anniversary celebrations of Hong Kong's return to China. He swore it.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tanya save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tanya save New York. Long COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tanya goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.